Hello everyone, this is Sunko, the Korean Bro. Today is 2023, November 28th. And let's see, what do you have tonight? Nvidia earnings, three reasons the artificial intelligence stock is still a screaming buy. Nvidia is selling its AI chips almost as fast as it can produce them. Uh, and revenue and profits are soaring. The company's valuation is still reasonable for long-term investors. The chipmaker enjoyed the jaw-dropping growth in the third quarter. What could come next? No company exemplifies the generative artificial intelligence boom more than Nvidia. As the market leader in designing and retailing advanced data center AI chips, the tech giant has enjoyed skyrocketing revenue and earnings as business scramble for its hardware to build and train large language models. Let's discuss Nvidia's third quarter earnings and what they could mean for its future. Um, As the market leader in designing and retailing advanced data center AI chips, the tech giant has enjoyed skyrocketing revenue and earnings as business scramble for its hardware to build and train large language models. NVIDIA's third quarter earnings were a slam dunk success. NVIDIA's third quarter earnings highlights impressive operational momentum. Revenue soared to 6% year over year to a record of $18.12 billion, driven primarily by the data center business, which involves the sale of advanced graphic processing units, such as the A100 used to train OpenAI's Chat GPT, and its more advanced successor, the H100. All in all, the SAM expanded 279% year over year to $14.51 billion. NVIDIA's bottom line also increased sharply, with net income jumping 12-fold to $9.2 billion due to rising sales of its high margin computer hardware. With limited competition, Nvidia isn't under much pressure to lower price to keep its 80% market share in AI chips. Nvidia income statement visualized. Um, Nvidia can maintain strength with relentless technical innovation. This November, the company announced its new ATGX H200 design to make AI computing even faster. ATGX H200. It also enjoyed impressive recovery in its gaming segments, which saw sales jump 81% year over year to $2.86 billion. The gaming results suggest the consumer market may finally be bouncing back from macroeconomic challenges like inflation and high interest rates, which could mean more growth ahead. I wouldn't worry about the competition. Nvidia's massive AI chip business isn't escaping the notice of rivals. Other companies like AMD, Amazon, and even Tesla are working on their own data center chips to generate revenue or reduce their reliance on third-party hardware suppliers for AI training. Of these companies, AMD is likely the biggest threat because it expects to sell its AI chips to other companies instead of retaining them for internal use. This year, the NVIDIA rival released its flagship M1300 AI chip designed to compete with NVIDIA's industry-leading H100 for training AI-related models. But while this new product will introduce competition, NVIDIA should retain its lead because of its faster update cycle. Well, AMD expects to ramp up M1300 production in its yet reported fourth quarter of 2023. NVIDIA is already in full production of the H100. With a whopping 500,000 chips expected to ship this year, um, rising to between 1.5 million and 2 million in 2024 by being faster to market at scale. NVIDIA can ensure it maintains the technical lead over competing products, ensuring better pricing power and profit margins. Priced for perfection, not so much. Despite the impressive results, Nvidia stock actually fell around 3% on Wednesday following the earnings announcement. According to Bloomberg, this has much to do with overvaluation, with some analysts believing the stock is already priced for perfection. But this situation is more complicated than it looks on the surface. Granted, with a price sales ratio of 38, Nvidia is significantly pricier than the S&P 500 average of just 2.5. But that only tells half the story. The PS ratio is a backward-looking metric comparing the current market caps to previous 12 months revenue. For a faster-growing company like Nvidia, the metric doesn't properly account for its growth rate or usually high net income margin. With all that in mind, forward price earnings is a better way for valuing Nvidia because it uses projected future net income. And with its 4 PNE of just 32, Nvidia stock still looks reasonably valued, considering its epic growth rate and potential to continue dominating the AI opportunity. It's not too late for investors to bet on its long-term success. So let's see. It's still a streaming buy, and we know that they are running data center business, and they gain main profit from a graphic processing unit, GPU, and its predecessor was 800. Uh, it was used to train OpenAI's Chat GPT, and now there's more advanced version, which uh, its name is 800. And all these combined, they are like expanded 2.79% year over year to $14.51 billion. Hmm. And it's pretty much dominating the market. It's got a lot of competitors like Amazon, AMD, but from author's point, the main competitor of Nvidia is AMD, but like considering production level, Nvidia has got more advantage because they can produce a lot more chips than Nvidia. I mean AMD, so they don't worry about competition. So here he says Nvidia is already in full production of the H100, with a whopping 500,000 chips expected to ship this year, rising to between 1.5 million and 2 million in 2024 by being faster to market at scale. Hmm. Okay, let's see this one too. Oh, another article about NVIDIA again. The bull case for NVIDIA centers on its dominance in graphics and accelerated computing. The company invented the graphic processing units, a chip that brought revolutionary visual effects to video games about 2 decades back. But GPUs have since become critical in accelerating complex data center workloads like artificial intelligence. Today, NVIDIA holds 95% market share in workstation graphics processors and 95% market share in machine learning processors, according to analysts. NVIDIA has further distinguished itself with its full stack computing strategy. The company couples its GPUs with adjacent hardware like central processing units and high performance networking equipment. It has also solidified its prominence in AI and 3D graphics with cloud based software and services tailored to each end market. DGX Cloud provides access to supercomputing infrastructure and software geared toward AI application development. Okay, so I get it. So it's not only GPU that they sell, but they got, other hardwares like CPU, central processing units, and high performance networking equipment and cloud service. Hmm. So they're strengthen their main selling point. DGX Cloud provides access to supercomputing infrastructure and software geared toward AI application development. It also includes framework that aid in the creation of industry-specific solutions such as route optimization software in logistics and product recommender systems in retail. Similarly, Omniverse Cloud providers access to infrastructure and software geared toward 3D application development and physically accurate simulation, which is useful in training and testing AI models for autonomous machines. NVIDIA reported phenomenal financial results in the third quarter. Okay, so DGX Cloud, here it says, it's probably the name of service that they provide. DGX Cloud is known for um, uh, specific case. Like a user can actually log on and make generative AI or something by using a cloud service. Nvidia reported phenomenal financial results in the third quarter. Revenue soared to 6% to $18 billion on strong growth in the data center and professional visualization segments and non-generally accepted accounting principles. Net income increased sixfold to $10 billion. Looking ahead, Grand View Research says the AI market could grow at 37% annually through 2030. Nvidia should be a major beneficiary of that tailwind. Indeed, Morningstar expects the company to grow sales at 22% annually over the next decade. In the context, the current valuation of 27 times sales look relatively reasonable, though certainly not cheap. Investors should start with a very small position in Nvidia stock today and the dollar cost average to build a bigger position over time. We got a lot of article about Nvidia. The tech giant might develop new AI products that do not require license for export to China and other countries impacted by the new and expanded U.S. government export regulations. The company's annualized recurring revenue run rate should reach $1 billion by the end of fiscal 2024. So Nvidia, its revenue um got hit because of government regulation occurred uh, like a few years ago. Uh, government regulation uh, had something to do with sales of NVIDIA chips, but like because of a license issue, they were not able to sell uh, the amounts they wanted. But now they came up with some new method to sell their own products. So here it is. Yeah. Oh, okay. The artificial intelligence leader management talks China AI product export regulations and recurring revenue streams. Last week, NVIDIA turned in a powerful report for the third quarter of fiscal 2024. The graphics processing unit, especially growth, was largely driven by continued robust demand for its chips and products that enable artificial intelligence capabilities. For the quarter ended October 29, NVIDIA's revenue surged to 6%, sprinting by Wall Street expectation of 150% growth. Okay. Both outlooks easily exceeded the strict expectations. Earnings releases tell only part of the story. Management comments during earnings call often contain key information about the company's prospect and strategy. New regulation compliance solutions that do not require a license. So they had an issue with license, but now that they know that mm, if they rely on mm, license, then it could possibly impact have an impact on the sales, right? So what they came up with is license. Mm. So they came up with a method that does not require license. That do not require license for exports to China and other affected countries. As background, in mid-October, the U.S. government released a new and expanded export control regulations pertaining to AI enabling products that exceed certain performance thresholds. From the Microsoft CFO called requests the over the past few quarters, NVIDIA sales China and other impacted destination of products that are now subject to license requirements have consistently contributed approximately 20 to 25% of data center revenue. The just reported fiscal third quarter data center platforms revenue accounted for 80% of NVIDIA's total revenue. So the company sales China and other affected countries of its product now subject to regulation contributed about 16% to 20% of its total quarterly revenue. So it takes a pretty huge amount, 16 to 20%. Annualized recurring revenue run rate should reach $1 billion by the end of quarter four. Here, Crash added that its most recent DGX Cloud customer announcement was on the morning of company's earnings release. DGX Cloud customer announcement. The customer is biotechnology pioneer Genentech, a subsidiary of pharmaceutical giant Roche Holding, which will use the service and other NVIDIA tools to optimize its AI drug discovery program. Okay, let's see what other articles we have. Chevron and Amazon. Johnson and Johnson. Waste Connections. Toast. Unity Software, the Trade Desk. Palantir. Block Mm, Advanced AMD, Symbiotic. Okay, let's see. What else do we have? Roku. Let's first see Roku. Okay. Mm, okay, Roku from humble Netflix origins to market building innovator. Let's start with an appreciated turnaround story. The current Roku situation reminds me of the unseen Netflix opportunity in 2011. In many ways, this company started out as a streaming hardware division of Netflix proper, separated into a standalone business so the parent company could strike deals with every consumer electronics maker without the threat of an in-house line of set-top boxes. Thus, Roku has a head start on pretty much every rival out there. Nobody can match its experience, which Roku earned while polishing the media streaming interface to a user-friendly gloss. As the streaming market keeps growing globally with rampant cord cutting on all five continents, I expect Roku to make the most of this valuable first mover advantage. Hmm. Roku stock hangs out in Wall Street bargain bin even after gaining 130% year to date. Today's stock price is more than 80% below the all-time high seen in the summer of 2021. The street's consensus price target for Roku share stands at $84, which is 10% below the latest price reading of $94. The company willingly put itself in this position by holding its prices steady through most of the inflation crisis. The choice resulted in deeply negative profits, but also maintained a steady win in the user gaining sales. Roku had 56 million active accounts in the fall of 2021, just before the inflation scare started. In this month's report, the number had grown by 34% to 76 million users. Top line revenue jumped 57% higher over the same period. Sure, Roku's earnings are still negative. That's a deal breaker for many investors, including plenty of Wall Street analysts, but I assure you the situation is as temporary. As Netflix painful quick start incident, Roku's free cash flows have already turned positive a trailing 12-month basis, and that top line is also gaining steam. I'm convinced that we are watching a future entertainment powerhouse going through some growing pains. Whatever your average analyst thinks about Roku's target value, it's a no-brainer buy in my book. Roku and the Trade Desk reported their third quarter earnings results earlier this month, and the market had a very different reactions. Roku posted acceleration revenue growth for the third quarter. Sales jumped 20% on the back of rising active accounts. Increased user engagement. The numbers exceeded analyst estimate for the period. But even more important was Roku's fourth quarter outlook. Management expects to maintain its advertising growth rate through the end of the year. Shares of Roku skyrocketed after reported with analysts raising their price targets. Wood and her team took to the opportunity to trim their funds position in Roku at higher prices, selling off a chunk of stock throughout November. The trade desk had a decent third quarter. Its revenue and earnings came in ahead of analyst expectations, up 25% and 27% respectively. But things turned sour when management started talking about the fourth quarter. In particular, executives see several negative factors impacting its revenue, including a lull in ad spending due to the auto workers and actor strikes, and general macroeconomic uncertainty. As such, management's guidance for just an 18% top line increase and 10% rise in adjusted beat that was a big letdown for investors. The market punished the stock the day after earnings, sending shares price down over 20% at one point. That's exactly when Wood pounced. Our invest bought up stock for the All Innovation ETF on November 10th, the day after the earnings release. The good news for investors is that as of this Friday, trade that stock trades for close to the same price as it did just after earnings. Simple streaming in accomplished wood. Oh, it's what I read. Now let's go to Shopify. Okay, there are a lot of articles about Shopify um and Shopify being the leader, Shopify being the leader in e-commerce industry. Okay. Hmm. Who are the big winners of Black Friday and Cyber Monday? Ah, yes. Here's why Shopify just hit a 52-year high today. Shopify just reported record numbers for Black Friday, outpacing the industry. By kicking off the holiday season like this, the company could outperform expectation this quarter. The important holiday shopping season is off to a strong start. It's a company that provides software for building e-commerce operations, and its customer base of merchants appears to be doing very well. In the US, the day after Thanksgiving is known as Black Friday. Merchandise is marked down and shoppers scramble to find deals. This Black Friday was record breaking for Shopify, and that's why Shopify stock was up about 5% as of 10:45 a.m. ET, reaching its highest price per share since early 2022. Shares are up about 12% year to date. How good were sales on Friday? According to Shopify's merchant had sales of $4.1 billion on Friday alone, which was up 22% from a Black Friday last year. Shopify's gross merchandise volume was also up 22% in the third quarter of 2023. Therefore, the company appears to be continuing its momentum from the previous quarter as the fourth quarter gets underway. It's important to also note that growth for Shopify's merchants is outpacing retail growth overall, according to an Adobe analyst report cited by CNBC. Spending on Black Friday was up 7.5% year over year overall. Looking ahead to quarter four, Shopify was expecting quarter four revenue growth only in the high teens percentage range, but growth in sales for its margins doesn't correlate precisely with the company's own revenue growth. It offers a variety of services, so Shopify's revenue growth can exceed sales growth for merchants. Therefore, if its margins can sustain the strong start to the holiday season, it's possible that Shopify can beat its guidance when it reports. Hmm. You got Amazon, Apple, Tesla, Shopify, Roku, and what else do I have? Nvidia, Apple, Tesla, Amazon. Nvidia, Tesla, Apple, Amazon. Google. Okay, Google. Hmm. Okay, this is it today, and I'm gonna see you tomorrow. Okay, happy night. Bye, guys. Bye, everybody.